It's shocking. Rumor is the newbie is stirring it up, and the P that Karen, the Grand Dame's pickleball was very contentious. The new girl has really, really come and has an issue with a professor. I could see
Professor.
that. I don't know. The professor was on this show. Let me tell you something about the professor. Let me tell you something about the professor. She was on this show, and then she's another one. She ran for the hills like fucking Tamra. Put on your big girl pants if you're coming behind the velvet rope, okay? You're a political
What'd she do?
commentator. I don't know.
I've had her on. What did she?
Must
Did
have.
she unfollow you?
No, I don't know. Let's see. She has never come back. So once you don't come back, you know what? It's fair game. So the professor, come on. Put on your big girl pants, professor. Hold on, let's
Let me see
see.
if she
Has the
unfollowed me.
professor, yeah. People might be unfollowing you because of me, girl. I'm sorry. No, listen, I got nothing against her, but once you don't come back to the show,
Oh, she follows me.
I said before,
I
I
don't
have
care.
no use for you. None if you don't come back to the
Um,
show. You got upset. But apparently she has a problem with a professor, this newbie on RHOP. You know what? Bring something, guys. Bring something, because Giselle ain't bringing her real life. I think we'll see stuff about Juan.
oh, they're
RHOA,
going to drag Juan and Robin through the mud.
good.
Oh, oh, they're going to be so dragged. I mean, I think he's leaning in. I haven't heard any rumblings. I do not believe he's been hired for any new coaching job
I
anywhere.
don't think it's so
I
easy to
think
get
he's going to
hired with
lean.
a scandal.
I don't think so either. I think he's leaning in. I mean, what other paycheck did they have?
Listen, you don't
Maybe
want to
her hat business.
lean.
I think her hat business is doing well, maybe. Wait, I
Maybe.
wanted to ask you, while we're on, because the professor was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner, what did you make? Because this even made the Post, the New York Post. What did you make of Ariana Maddox posting on her IG story that picture with Meghan McCain, the political commentator who used to be on The View, and cropping Meghan and her husband out? Do you think that was a crop issue, which is what Ariana's people came out and said, or deliberate?
Crop issue. I mean, listen, I got accused of being a racist because, listen, there's only so much you can fit. So, I remember last year I posted a cast picture of RHOBH. And when you have how many? 10 fucking girls? Although I don't know if everyone was in it, but on the end, I think one end was Crystal and one end was Garcelle, something like that. And to fit the fucking picture in the goddamn Instagram box, you have to cut off end A and end B. It's the only way it fits, guys. So some asshole said, something to me, and I told them to go fuck themselves. So that's how crop issues work, right? To fit the whole picture in there. So I didn't think it was a whole thing. I know it became a thing, but I mean, Meghan McCain was on the end. Now, granted, I guess the argument is Meghan McCain posted the whole picture and was able to fit everyone in.
Well,
I
Megan
don't think
posted it on
so.
her feed. I mean, you can pinch the picture. You do
You
have a border.
can, but then if you do a slide, if you pinch a picture and then you slide and
Yeah.
you have 9 other pictures, all of them are pinched. So then the other
Well,
ones get.
Ariana never posted this picture on her feed. This was on her Instagram story. So she could have easily pinched the photo and everybody in the crew could have been in the picture because it's on your IG story. And really, it doesn't matter
Really?
where you put things on your story. But anyway,
You're fine.
oh, hold on. Are you good? Okay.
Yeah, no.
So I don't know. I mean, look, Meghan McCain didn't seem to make a big deal about it. I don't know. I could see this either way. I think it could be just an innocent, I just posted this on my IG story and I didn't crop it, or I think it could be deliberate. I don't know. I mean, I don't know, right? Don't you feel like that could be some shade?
You think so? What, just because she's conservative, so to speak?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, maybe also she didn't know who she was. I mean, I don't think everybody knows who Meghan McCain is necessarily, although she's a huge Bravo fan, but still, Ariana probably has her own life. Did Ariana even know who it was and just was like, oh, random person, so I'm going to crop them out?
Do you want to hear some tea? I mean, sometimes I think of
What?
tea.
Yes.
We were in the mix here behind the velvet rope to interview the one, the only, Meghan McCain. This is a while ago. And I had to write up a little bit about why it is that I felt this is her true story, why I felt I was worthy of interviewing Miss McCain to her whole team. And I wrote it up because I was like, I will literally cut off my head, both my arms. And like, I was like, I want to interview Miss McCain. They were they loved the write-up. I'm a lawyer. I could write something up within, as you saw from my appearance on the BBC, speaking about Jerry, I can turn my intelligence on in seconds. It doesn't always have to be lowbrow. They loved it, but we did not there was no time on Miss McCain's schedule when it was for a book that she had out like about a year ago, but I was like, oh my God, we're about to land Meghan McCain. Then it didn't happen. There you go. That's all I have to say to you.
Well, I would think she would love your show, so she should definitely come on.
It was,
I don't know. You know, I mean, I'm sure because she was on The View and everything's so contentious, and I would imagine anybody that's one of the hosts of The View probably has a pretty strong vetting. I think it's more they don't want to be bamboozled, you know? So I would imagine that they have a really strong vetting process. And, you know, I guess it probably depends on if like her team has time to listen to your show. I don't know. You know, you need like almost a friend of hers to vouch for you, I think, because
we would have talked about the book, we would have talked about The View, and we would have talked a little bit about Bravo. It would have been a home run. I would have done 20 minutes, whatever Miss McCain wanted. I was very excited. But, you know, listen, a lot of people that I'm excited to interview, it never comes to fruition, guys. Such is the life.
You know,
such is
the life.
Anything else keeping you up
there was
in the Bravo?
Yes, there was one other topic. I can't, let me look at my list. I have all these things that I always want to ask you.
Ask me away. I mean, Scandival. I mean, oh God, Sarah, I don't care anymore. I just don't care. I'm sorry.
I don't think a lot of people care.
Are you sure about that? I think a lot of people still care.
You do?
Vanderpump Dogs. I've been looking for. I don't know. I'm looking photos. Scandal joke plus Wendy Osefo. Okay, I'm just looking at all these things. Teresa explains why Bill was in her wedding party. Oh God. There's really, guys, I'm bored. Dorit and I mean, is this even a thing? Dorit and Erika are fine. Everyone's been DMing about Toothless Not Homeless, asking if Dorit is pregnant. I kind of take that as an insult.
I know, I saw that. I'm like, me too. I'm like, you guys, she was so freaking tiny in real life.
Yeah, I
don't know. I didn't even look at her stomach, to be honest. I mean, the only other thing that's trending is the Chrisleys. You know, a lot of tea still coming out about Todd being an alleged racist. This is by his former daughter-in-law.
Any luck with the
Todd has an
daughter-in-law?
older son. There's another guest we want to get. No, but to be honest, I didn't even try yet because I was at the bachelorette party all weekend. So that part,
Savannah Chrisley was kicked off a plane.
Yeah. And, you know, Southwest is fighting back, which is interesting. A lot of these brands now are coming out, like when Don Lemon was fired and CNN was like, no, we actually offered to sit down with you. You didn't want to. You went on Twitter. You know, I think brands are speaking up now and they're not letting people, you know, Southwest is like, look, we're investigating this, but Savannah was apparently extremely rude.
How so?
You know, I think she didn't want to take her seat. Wait, let me.
I mean, listen, the airlines don't play around. They will always protect the general safety of everyone before one unruly passenger. Did anyone like this season?
It was a dispute over her carry-on luggage.
Oh, well, they said you have too many pieces. You can't put it in the overhead. I mean, that does happen. Was she boarding group F? Was she boarding group A? Let's talk about this. Did she want two carry-ons?
This is her side of the story. Savannah says she went on after boarding the plane. One flight attendant called her out over the intercom. It was the funniest thing, Savannah says. The entire flight had boarded, and the flight attendant comes on and goes, "Hey, Savannah, we've got some hot pilots up here who would like to buy you a drink." The Sassy by Savannah founder said as she placed her face in her palm. The Growing Up Chrisley alum embarrassing situation occurred just 1 week after she was thrown off. Oh, this is another incident. Wow. She was thrown off another Southwest Airlines flight for being